I look at you and I think you are one of the biggest stars in global fight sports. So time to put some respect on that, time to build that brand, build that profile. Our role with you is to sit across the team to do that.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I am currently not at home right now. You probably know already, I have signed with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom on a commercial advisory deal.
What's your initial thoughts on this, mate?
Well, we've done most of my career with the really small team that I've got, so I wanted to add to my value. Eddie's someone that I've known for a fair bit. I trust Eddie, and I want to make as much money and grow commercially as much as possible while I'm fighting.
And what does this mean for, you know, your fighting career going forward as well?
Obviously we're still recovering, but I'm looking to get back in there as soon as possible. So I just want to maximise the time that I've got in the sport, grow more commercially, and do it with, you know, expand my team a little bit, make it as big and powerful as possible. Anyway, we'll get the main man himself to tell you a little bit more. Over to Eddie.
Eddie, initial thoughts on signing Tom?
Yeah, massive. I mean, obviously it's going to make a lot of noise around the world, but, you know, as we discussed previously, we've been talking about this talent agency and this management agency for a while, and, you know, the launch into football and other areas of sport. And, you know, I got to know Tom and I got to know Andy, and I was pretty shocked by, you know, the potential that was out there in terms of where he's at and how he feels. I mean, you're talking about the UFC World Heavyweight Champion. You're talking about one of the biggest stars in British sport. You're talking about one of the biggest stars globally. I mean, you know, in a boxing sense, you are the baddest man on the planet, and that's what he is. And he's a good guy, you know, and you know, talking to Andy, which can last a long time sometimes, the passion that they have, the groundness that they have, the integrity they have. I just felt like I met a man that was just a little bit broken, if I'm honest with you. You've got to feel like, you know, you've achieved a lot. And you've got to actually feel like you are the man. I know you're humble, but at the same time, like, don't also forget what you've done and who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put some, well, I know it's a bit cringe, but put some respect on the name. I mean, that's the reality. One of the things he said to me, he said, you know, you sure you want to represent me? I'm a bit, you know, bit of a sort of broken record at the moment. Like, you know, I said, what are you talking about? You're the UFC World Heavyweight Champion, mate. You're one of the most fierce fighters on the planet, and I see you as a massive star. Get your chin up, get your mojo up. There's loads of reasons I want to do this, but actually you deserve to be treated in a specific way for what you've achieved. You know? Yeah. So that's really what it comes down to. And we're really motivated on this for many reasons, but also to make the agency work, but also to make it a success. This is a commercial deal across all of his business, and an advisory role that we'll be taking and helping him plan his future, you know, across his brand, across sport, and across everything really. And we're really excited to welcome him to the team.
And a lot of fans will associate you with obviously boxing. Just to be clear on that, obviously Tom is still with the UFC.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, he has a contract with the UFC, so this isn't about bringing him into boxing. This is a commercial representation and an advisory capacity to help him across all of his business. And, you know, I'm sure, and everything that I hear means he can go in there and do serious damage in the boxing world, but it's not on the short-term agenda for sure.
And what have we got to look forward to?
So much. I mean, look, you know, more importantly at the moment is getting him back in the octagon. You know, we know that part of this process was to kind of make me understand, because sometimes people can spin a narrative on you, and if you don't have the heavy artillery behind you, you get a little bit overrun. And I feel like that's what happened with Tom. And, you know, when I spoke to him and spoke to his surgeons and the doctors and stuff like that, and actually looked at these multiple operations that he's had, like, I'm kind of looking at him and going, oh, wow, like, this is a serious comeback. And this is not just about a comeback against physical injury. This is emotional and mental, you know, challenges that he's faced in terms of the opinion of people from narratives that have been spun on him. So he's a fighter. That's what he does. And, you know, he's missing that. And he's got a championship to defend. So absolutely, the plan is to make sure you can get him back you know, in the octagon and making sure that he's physically ready, and hopefully that won't be too far away.
And we'll be there on Friday.
Yeah, Friday, big press conference in London for the official welcoming, if you like. And listen, massive news across, you know, all fight sports, and delighted to welcome Tom Aspinall, the UFC World Heavyweight Champion, to the Matchroom Talent Agency team. We need to get him back. And by the way, we don't even have to get him back to the top, because guess what? He is the top. You're the UFC World Heavyweight Champion. You don't get any bigger than that.
We're excited to welcome you to the channel as well.
Can't wait. Bring me on. You know I'm available at any moment. I love an interview. Tom Aspinall YouTube channel. Let's go.
So as Eddie said, we'll see you on Friday, behind the scenes of the press conference and all that good stuff, and then reaction video to the UFC Sunday. See you then.